I'm going to say something that's going to get a lot of flack because it's 2025 and America is super toxic. So most dudes are even brainwashed, especially the females, but definitely most dudes. Maybe besides conservative type guys. But let's keep it real. Men and women like different things in each other, typically speaking. If you were to take the propaganda out of it, men naturally want the purest looking woman they can get, especially a virgin specifically, but at least looking pure. It's only due to sexual perversion do men say like, oh, things like, oh, I love a woman with tattoos and the side of her head shaved and purple hair or blue hair and tatted up like the subway in Harlem, like a pirate from Pirates of the Caribbean. That's only because you've been conditioned and you're just a pervert at this point. But if you were to take your young 14, 15-year-old self and say, hey, describe your typical wife that you want someday, you're going to say a woman probably with long hair, a nice shape, a pretty smile, whatever it is, nice body or whatever it is. But you're not going to be like, oh, man, I want her to have a whole arm sleeve, or I want her to have a bull nose piercing, or have a lip piercing and eyebrow piercing and all this extra stuff, a chest tattoo, like a dude. None of you are going to say that. You might say it now and be like, oh, I don't mind it. It's only because pickings are slim if you're an average looking guy. Let's keep it real. Most men are just taking what they can get because now it's a global dating market now. A woman that's say in a small little hick town somewhere in a small, corner of Texas, typically 20 years ago before social media became big, the 5 or 6 out of 10 girl or 7 out of 10 girl as far as looks goes would have ended up marrying her high school sweetheart, or maybe the mechanic across town, or someone that knows her family, they have a son that they introduce her to, whatever. Now, because it's a global dating market and women have access to Instagram, dudes from the next state over, the next continent over, can be in contact with her easily, and she could lose interest in you or not even look at you. But anyways, what comes with that is that it's almost like a woman walking into a candy store, and she can choose, and there's a million flavors, and she can only choose one in the long term. So instead of choosing one and then leaving the store, she's going to pick out each little one. Maybe not each little one, but most of them. And then eventually gets sick from the candy. And so by the time a guy that's, say, a piece of candy, or a guy that's best for her comes along, she's going to be too damaged to appreciate it because she's going to have diabetes from all the candy she ate. She's going to have all these issues. And so anyways, versus a guy, most guys, unless, you're super tall or you're famous, or, you have a lot of clout, all the girls in your school liked you, whatever it is, you're in a whatever, or you have a huge social media following, you're almost taking what you can get. So you'll, look past the tattoos. You'll be like, oh, okay, she doesn't have too many. Or you look past the bull nose ring or whatever else crazy that she's done to the outside of her body, indicating her internal damage. You'll look right past it because you don't get that many girls. But look what we've accepted as men. Crazy. My wife doesn't have any tattoos, and she has long hair and no piercings, which I'm thankful for, because that's hard to find nowadays, unless they're in high school or something, or underage. But for the most part, once a girl gets past a certain number of bodies, which is another reason why body count is important, because it's not necessarily a thing of, oh, guys had bigger penises than me, so now I'm not going to be able to measure up. That can be the case sometimes. But generally speaking, if a woman has, gone for her, what she felt is her type, or a guy that ran a good game and gave her body to him, and he ends up running her through the mud, or however it ends, the next guy, she's going to be less trusting. And works out and it doesn't work out with the next guy, she's going to be even less trusting with the next guy. So by the time she gets to you, she's not going to want to listen to anything you say. She's not going to believe anything you say. She's going to be like, oh, yeah, right, you're not really going to your mom's. You're probably doing this. And not only that, from her getting cheated on by previous men, she's going to start leaving her options open even more, because she's like, last time I gave my all and he ended up having 4 side pieces. So even though this good guy is standing in front of me and he's probably not going to do that, I can't take that chance. So anyways, though, the title of this video might be, something along the lines of signs of damaged girls, or why girls that are damaged aren't good to wife or whatever. But yeah, it's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. Like I said, currently I'm not in that situation right now. So this isn't some incel, complaining about women. I see it all the time everywhere I go. It's crazy.